When you use a lookup function like VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP, or XLOOKUP, or index match, you will only return the first instance and not all the instances of the matched value. In this video, I will show you how you return all the values instead of just one. And you do this with the function filter, and it's a relative new function with dynamic arrays. I will go through what that means very soon. But the filter function will filter a range of data based on a criteria or multiple criterias. The first argument is your array, what you want to include. That means the values that you want the filter function to return. And then the second array needs to be the exact same length. And for that array, you apply a criteria. And then the third optional argument is a built-in if error, meaning what should happen if the function doesn't return any values. Let's try it out. Let's say you want to return all the prices if the berry is strawberry. We use the filter function. Our array will be our price. That means the array that we want to return. We can either select just the range or the entire column, but we need to make sure that the include array is the same length. And then we go to our second argument, our include. Our include will be the column with the berries. And if this column is equal, and here we could make a reference to a cell where it says strawberry, or we can write in quotation marks strawberry, and we always make it in quotation marks when we write a text in a formula. And then we could skip the last optional argument and just close it, and then if we press enter, you'll see that here we have a strawberry, and the next strawberry we have is down here. And that's the second item that we have returned. So it seems to work. There are some few questions that might arise. For example, what happens if you want to have multiple criteria? Is that possible? It is. You do that by putting each criteria in parentheses and then use a multiplication operator between all the criteria. For example, if we wanted to only have the Japan country here, we could include a second criteria. I see now that the titles are wrong, but what we do is that we put our criterias in parentheses and then add a multiplication operator, and then we create in parentheses a second criteria that this column is equal Japan, and then we close that second parenthesis. And we press on OK. And now we will return all the values when the B column is equal to strawberry and the C column is equal to Japan. And now I'll show you a very cool hack in Excel that works for all the dynamic arrays function. And dynamic array functions means that you don't know how many cells it will spill to. You don't know how many berries that's strawberries and the country is Japan, so you don't know how many cells it will spill into. And if you want to make a formula to a dynamic array function and you want it to be applied, you want the formula to be copied to all of the cells, then you can use an hashtag to spill that formula into the exact same amount of cells as the dynamic array function. Let's say we create just a simple formula that references to your dynamic array function, and then you put hashtag, and you can now see that it spills the exact same amount of rows. When I press on enter, we can now see that it works. So that means that each time you have a dynamic array like unique, filter, sort, XLOOKUP, then you can use this hashtag to apply the formula to all these cells. Hopefully you learned all you wanted to learn and also a bit more in this video. And if you want to learn even more, subscribe to this channel. Thank you.